Most of this research started because I wanted to understand more about me. I was a frustrated 20-year-old trying to gain control of my attitude so that I had the ability to perform well in a commissioned sales role. I was struggling to learn a business. I was struggling to learn how to lead. I was struggling to learn how to sell. I was struggling to learn how to manage myself. All the time that I lost my attitude, it meant that I was also losing my paycheck and my ability to do well. This wasn't okay. I would make the decision that I'm gonna have a better attitude. I would repeat over and over that today was gonna be a good day, and I would try and talk myself into having a better attitude. The results didn't change. So I had changed my attitude, but my results still were not showing up. What that made me do was believe that changing my attitude has absolutely no impact over my results. So it reconfirmed for me that this whole attitude thing is just ridiculous. Being in that place made it impossible for me to be able to change anything. And most people make the exact same mistake. I struggled with improving my attitude because I was doing it wrong. I didn't know any better at the time, but I was doing it wrong. So the mistake is to simply start at attitude. And even though that's progress, we have to go somewhere where we have more influence. Your attitude works this way. Our actions, they determine our results. Our results determines our beliefs. Our beliefs determine how our attitude is. Our attitude determines how we feel. How we feel determines our actions. So these are all in a constant cycle. And then there's this magical piece, which is your programming. Is it possible for us to learn something new, which will allow us to have different actions as options that we didn't know before, that will then have a direct influence over our results? Is it possible for us to learn something new that will have our beliefs slightly change? Because this new information makes us understand something brand new. Question your faith simply means, what do you believe about yourself to be true? And where did all those beliefs come from? Are they accurate, or are perhaps some of them inaccurate, which is the case for most of us as adults? Most of us have beliefs about ourselves that we formed from the opinion of an uneducated child, because we were kids when we started to create beliefs. It's important as an adult to use this success practice to get rid of anything that no longer serves you today. I had beliefs in my teenage years and in my 20s that were formed when I was a little kid that had absolutely no substantiated facts behind them whatsoever. Things that took away my confidence. We either keep them with us as we grow into adulthood, or we choose as adults to eliminate old beliefs. I call it doing a virus scan. If you imagine that your beliefs are like a city skyline, everything you've ever believed in your entire life is a building somewhere in that skyline. Your adult city skyline may look something like this. Most of ours do. The way that beliefs work, when you were a little child, you started to form beliefs about things that you learned and experienced in your life. And each belief that you found more evidence for, you collected the evidence and you built that building, which is a belief, taller. So you created this little city of all the things that you believed. When you became a teenager, there were some new beliefs that were formed as well. You can imagine all of the different beliefs that we built about ourselves as teenagers that were absolutely inaccurate. Another 10-year-old was telling us that we weren't good at something, or that we weren't cool, or that we were unattractive, or any of these things, and we started to believe that these things were real. I got called Miss Piggy when I was a little girl, which I probably shouldn't tell you that on this video, because I have a turned up nose. That was devastating to me when I was a kid. We've all survived childhood. We've gotten to the point in our lives, you've gotten to the age of 25 years old and you are not in jail, you are living on your own, and you are still, okay. We deserve to receive an award for that. Growing up is a crazy process. A lot of the things that we believe about ourselves that we started to form when we were children, they're wrong. They're inaccurate beliefs, and sometimes too they were just put there by other people, not for any detrimental reason for the most part, but that's just the reality of the way that it exists. So, as an adult, it's a fantastic practice to question your faith. We still have a lot of those beliefs living in our skyline. So each one of our cities still has all of the beliefs until we remove them. Beliefs have to be deleted. We've got to actually go back and disagree with them and remove them so that they no longer have any type of influence over what we believe about ourselves to be true. So the way to go about changing beliefs is to do simply this. Ask yourself, what do you believe about yourself to be true? And ask yourself, what would you like to believe about yourself to be true? Or what do you need to believe about yourself to be true? The list of the beliefs that you'd like to eliminate, you can eliminate in one of two ways. One, simply accept the fact, truly, that that belief is inaccurate. Those beliefs are easy to simply hit the delete button on. You no longer believe what the belief is pitching you to believe. Okay. The second way is that if you sort of don't believe it, or you don't want to believe it anymore, or you'd like to be different today than what that belief is holding you back to be, you simply have to build a new belief that disproves the old one. So it is kind of like being in a courtroom and having one side battle against another side. Just you're the one that's recruiting for over here. You're no longer recruiting for over here. So every single time that you do something that proves this new belief, you start to build this belief just like you're building a building. You're building this building with bricks from the old one. Every single time that you find a new piece of evidence, you're taking a brick from the old building and you're putting it into this new building. When you have built more evidence that this is the new truth, this belief no longer has enough credibility to stay in your neighborhood. So, in order to change your attitude, take a look at the places that you have areas of opportunity. Can you do anything different with your actions that is going to do something different with your results? When you get different results, you have the opportunity now to, through your beliefs, change your attitude. Your attitude changes as a result of everything else. Your attitude is not the beginning point. Unfortunately, for most of us, it took us a long time to learn that lesson. Hopefully, it'll save some time for you.